It's a really intriguing time to be an Indian woman cricketer. In fact, it's intriguing to be a woman in today's cricket world. This used to be known as a gentleman's game. It's now everyone's game. On Big Basket presents the RCB Podcast, we speak to our women cricketers and find out how cricket changed their lives. Power and passion. One of the most memorable knocks from a number 8 batter, Nadine de Klerk got her team across the line in the Women's World Cup. An innings to remember, an innings to celebrate. We're in conversation with Nadine de Klerk, a powerhouse from South Africa. Nadine de Klerk, I've got to say, this is really awesome, okay? Because that match, India-South Africa in the World Cup, 2 number 8 batters collectively that had like the most total aggregate together across genders, men or women's World Cup. And Nadine was on the, the winning end of what Richa did, and then you both play for RCB. I think that's just so cool to have both of you together in this unit, but also that match, because it got everyone talking.
It was a packed stadium to start off with, and I know, obviously, the crowd cheering, because like I said, Richa was just pumping us to all parts of the ground, and obviously been on the receiving end of that quite a bit, bowling in that back end. So yeah, really destructive batter and quite scary batter to bowl to as well, to be honest. So I'm really glad we're on the same team, and hopefully both of us can have a similar impact here. Obviously fairly familiar with the conditions and I guess the way we want to go about our games as well. So yeah, really exciting to be on the same team as her this year.
But I got to talk about that innings because I'm still not over it. I'm still in awe of it. And I did a little research, and I saw some of your earlier interviews, you saying something that, what you want to be remembered for towards the end is either winning matches for South Africa or winning World Cups for South Africa. You single-handedly won that game. Of course, there was a partnership, I know, but you won that game. Your innings was ferocious. It was aggressive. I think, was it the hockey player in you that was just going for the sweeps and finding the gaps, aggression against the Indian spinners? That's what we call clutch moments, coming out as a clutch player. So talk me through that innings and your conversation, your state of mind that just kept you going.
I mean, as cricketers, we train for moments like that. And like you said, probably to do it in a World Cup is even more special, especially against the host as well, which I said was a packed stadium and such an incredible match to be a part of. But yeah, I guess it's one of those where I wasn't really thinking about winning the game at that point. When I walked in, it was more just me and Chloe were just saying to have some fun and just back ourselves. If it's there, you go. If not, then we just keep knocking it around. And when I looked at the scoreboard again, and I was like, you know what, we can actually win this game. We're not far off. Obviously, we then lost Chloe, but I think we actually scored the bulk of the runs before she got out. So I think it's only then that I realized that this game is on and we can actually win it. And yeah, I guess instincts just kind of kick in and you just try and back yourself. And some days it comes off and other days it doesn't. And yeah, very happy that it came off that day.
I love the zone that you were in. I loved your celebrations or the emphasis on all the reactions to yourself, those little moments. You can dumb it down by saying you were pumping yourself up, but it's different. And I'd love to know the reactions globally for you after an innings like that. Your phone must have been blowing off the hook. Who reached out to you? What did people say?
Initially, I was a bit shocked as well. And I was like, I cannot believe this actually happened. Because like I said, it was just taking it one ball at a time. And I was actually never thinking about the result until we got really close. Probably that last over that I faced, where I was like, I think this game is on and it's probably ours to lose from here on. So yeah, like I said, didn't really think much. But I think after we won that game, I was shocked for probably a month after that, really. But I knew I kind of had to put it behind me really quickly as well, because the World Cup came thick and fast and the games kind of just kept coming at us. So you kind of had to put that, and I didn't want it to be a one-off type of thing as well. So I love talking to myself, and it was almost like, I want to be this type of player throughout this whole competition, not just this one game, and almost had to just kind of take myself back a little and just relax and like take in that moment as well and really enjoy that win and whatever's happened in the game, but also put my focus onto the next couple of games because I knew it was going to probably happen again in the next couple of games as well. So, but yeah, really special, and it's going to be hard to top that, I think, in the coming years.
But that campaign in general, because that was where you saw, I don't know if we saw it much after, but I remember being on the ground doing the post-show, and I just remember you as a unit, as a South African unit, you were together in a circle and you were singing a team song or something like that. And I believe you're quite vocal in those sort of situations from what I've heard. But you could see as a unit, you were on a mission, because that run led to being, in a maiden World Cup ODI performance for you, for an appearance for you. So it's a very, very memorable campaign from a South African perspective as well.
Yeah, no, look, I think there's been a lot of work put in, obviously, behind the scenes leading up to that World Cup. And it's just such a special tournament to be a part of. And I think, like I said, we've done a lot of work with our new coach about being a unit, being united, and really sticking it out. And I think losing that first game to England, obviously in the moment, it kind of feels like the world's ending. But I think it was actually a really important part of our World Cup is getting absolutely hammered in that first game. Because I think the way we just pulled together after that first game and said, you know what, we know this is not us, and we're going to be better. And I think that was probably the start of us as a team really uniting and deciding that that's not how we're going to play our cricket. And I think we've had a really good run after that. So yeah, I think that was also a really important part, and probably shows that failure is part of it, and sometimes can end up actually being one of the best things that can happen. So yeah, great tournament for our team, and I think we've had different players stepping up every single game, and that's always a great sight for any team if you don't rely just on one or two players.
And it's high up in the air.
ये तो out है. Tissues. ये तो 6 है. Party. Out. 6.
What a smashing victory.
Big Basket. Everything you need delivered now.
I like the word failure. You have it tattooed somewhere on your body, right? There's a phrase.
Yes, I do actually. I guess my cricketing journey in general, I spoke to someone the other day and I was like, I've played international cricket for 9 years and it doesn't feel like it. But it's probably been a journey of way more downs than ups, really. And took me a really long time to try and figure out how I want to go about it and who I want to be as a cricketer, and obviously as a teammate as well. And yeah, like I said, I guess that failures is part of the journey. If it's not for all those failures, you probably won't end up where you're supposed to. So yeah, I really try and see it as a lesson every time you do fall short, or don't really want to call it a failure, because I don't think it is. I really do think it's just a lesson to be learned and to really make you better for the next opportunity that comes your way.
Plus, failure builds character, right?
Oh, 100%.
What has changed about you from what has been your hardest moments from the young Nadine? Because I knew you had a sporting upbringing, but from the young Nadine to now, who's had a clutch innings like that at number 8, who's played in World Cup finals. What has changed for you when you think about that young girl?
I think it's just more mentality, really. Like I said, cricket is sometimes such a harsh game, and it is a bit hardcore, and it's obviously based on performance all the time. But I think it's such a big mental part to cricket, and we all know that you can have all the skills in the world, but it comes down to how you can handle those pressure situations, or if you get dropped, or if you haven't performed as well, how do you actually pick yourself up? And like I said, that's probably the hardest lessons I've had to learn in the past 7-8 years, is just to move on quickly from falling short or from failing. Like I said, you can get a duck the one game and score a match-winning innings the next, but you have to make sure that you're in the right mindset to do that. So I think it's just about really focusing on my mentality, being really confident in my ability, even if it doesn't come off, to keep backing myself in. And yeah, you put in a lot of hours behind the scenes, so you have to back that and trust that it's going to work out all right.
What are some of the tools that you've learned that helps in the mentality? Because was it the World Cup semi-final in 2022 when you came in for Marizanne Cap and you took 3 wickets against like this awesome Australian team? We always say awesome Australian team because they're like that. But to come in and perform right on the spot in a high-pressure situations, what are the tools that have helped you become that sort of person?
Yeah, I love performing or playing under pressure. For some reason. So I actually like when I walk in and we need 12 and over, or you need to be the player to get us over the line, or I'm not sure what's really behind it or how it ended up being that way. I guess just my type of personality. I really like a challenge, and I want to be the person that walks in tough situations or get the ball. And I think that's just probably from growing up, really. We've always had a very competitive family and always wanted to be the best since I can basically remember. So that's really helped me in my international career this far, wherever I've been, is just the mindset to really never give up and always wanting to win and wanting to be the best, and also knowing that it's not always going to happen. Cricket is a funny game. So
a sport is funny that way.
Yeah.
But what was your childhood like? Who's most competitive? What was your family structure like growing up?
Oh,
what was a
we
normal
have
day from what you can remember?
We have a very competitive family. Actually, on Christmas Day, we've had like a family game day, and we are all very competitive, even if it's just a table tennis game, or sometimes we go and play paddle, and we get very competitive between me, my dad, and my brother. It's a very close contest. My mother, not so much. She's just there to enjoy family time. But
Are you sure she's enjoying it with so much competitiveness?
My mom is always like, my partner actually said like, she never wants to be in my dad's team because he's way too competitive for her. So, but I love it. Like, I love being in a contest, in a fight. And I guess that's what I love about World Cups and big moments, even the WPL or the WBBL. It's like just constantly being in the contest, wanting to win, wanting to be the best. And I think that really brings out the best in me. And yeah, like I said, it's a great trait to have. It's probably something that I'll never want to get rid of, even if I'm 36 years old and still playing cricket. I want to keep having that same mentality and that same fight.
You grew up admiring Jacques Kallis, was it?
Yeah.
What was it about? I mean, of course, he's a glorious all-rounder, one of the best globally, has so many admirers. But what was about his gamemanship that you wanted to emulate?
Probably his calmness as well. I think if you looked at the way that he batted, it was always quite calm. And I speak a lot about sometimes when you're a finisher within a team and you come in towards the back, it's like there's always heaps of pressure on you and you don't really have much time to settle and to get used to conditions. You kind of just have to get on with the game. And so sometimes the pressure that comes with that is quite big. And I think the better you handle that, obviously the better off you're going to be. So I think just his calmness and again, just playing the way that he does, didn't really matter what other people said or how other people felt about it. It was just that's the way he bats, and he was so consistent in doing that. And yeah, I guess like if you're probably looking to follow an all-rounder, there's no better example to follow. So yeah, I mean, world class, and hopefully you kind of take just half of that with you going forward as well.
Have you had any interactions with him?
No, I've had a picture taken with him once at one of the CSA awards. I was still quite young. It was a pretty cool moment. I think my mom actually still has it on her phone, and she loves looking at all these pictures. So yeah, like I said, he's a great legend of the game.
Well, obviously, the world's focus came back on South Africa and what the women achieved. And, recently we had the men's team over here playing the test series and this long series. And a lot of the questioning to some of the top players was about, have you followed the women's team and what they've been doing? Because overall, there is this trend of South Africa as a nation, again, across genders, now making a habit of reaching big global finals. Where do you think that shift has come from?
It's crazy to think that it's happened, actually, I think, so quickly, really.
I think 5 years.
Yeah, like it almost felt like we were trying for so many years and it just never happened. And we couldn't really put our fingers on it, like, why is it not happening? What are we not doing? And I think when we made the first final, it happened again and a third time. And it all just suddenly felt like things are just falling into place. And I'm not really sure why or how, but I think once you've kind of just got over that hurdle of losing in semi-finals all the time, and you start getting used to winning the big moments, the big games, and like I said, we've had different people stepping up. I mean, Laura's innings in the semi-final against England, probably one of the best I've seen. Annika's one in the semi-final against Australia as well. We've had some like really big moments in those games to get us to that final, and I think the one at home as well. Like we've had big moments that we've always lost in the past, and we've somehow found a way in those last couple of years to win those big moments, and yeah, hopefully we win the bigger ones and we get over the line with the final. But yeah, it's great that South African cricket has come this far, with the Test Championship, our men making the final as well. So really special to be a part of South African cricket at the moment.
Particularly for the women's team, as you mentioned, that's 3 final appearances now across the formats. How do you look at that? Because I know how you look at failure, or the word failure. It's a harsh term, but I know how you look at it as lessons learned. How do you look at it, the lessons that you take away from those finals, and where you could take it further to get trophies?
Probably, I'm not sure if it was emotions really or excitement.
But emotions are good, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it bring out the best?
Yeah, I definitely think so. It's just, I'm not quite sure. Like we felt that we probably played our best game in that semi-final and couldn't quite get up with it in that final. And like I said, we've played in 3 now. The first time we were like, okay, it was our first final. Nerves probably get the better of you a little. But I think if you've done it 3 or 4 times, it's like that semi-final. We've played heaps of semi-finals. We just never got over the line. So I think once you start playing more regularly in those finals, I think you will eventually deal with it a bit better. All credit to India as well, who probably outplayed us in this last one.
But India too, if you followed their journey, had a habit of reaching finals, semi-finals.
And it's great that they've won it. Obviously, it's great for Indian cricket as well. And it's great that, I did say this to someone the other day as well, it's great to see that different people are actually competing at the moment. Like, we've had the mighty Australians win it for years. And we've had New Zealand win it last year with the T20s. And India this year, 2 new champs, basically. So it's great for women's cricket. And like I said, even though we are the unfortunate ones to miss out and we couldn't quite get over the line, it's just great to see where women's cricket is at and that everybody's competing. And it's like I said, it's not just the same team winning the comps over and over.
What was the reception like back home? Families watching that final, following your campaign. When you did finally come back home, what was it like?
Yeah, it was really special. I think obviously we went home for that one day before the WBBL where CSA had this massive thing for us, and it was just great to see all the support. And obviously we can't do it without CSA and all our families and people supporting us back home. So it was great to, even though we didn't get over the line, to see the massive reception we got at the airport, and then obviously to have a couple of functions as well from CSA, and them just showing us that, you know, even though we didn't get over the line, they're still really, really proud of what we've achieved over the last couple of months. And yeah, it was a tough 8 weeks, obviously, for everybody physically and mentally. ODI cricket takes a lot out of you. So it was great to go home, even though everybody was quite emotional about obviously not getting over the line. But it was great to see so many supporters and so many people just really proud of what we've achieved.
And I'm sure your mum has a lot more pictures now of you.
Oh, my mom. My mom always posts me on her WhatsApp stories and loves posting pictures on Facebook. So yeah, my mom is Shem. She's really sweet, and she doesn't know much about cricket, to be honest.
So mum wasn't competitive, not sporty. It was dad and brothers.
Like she used to be very sporty when she was younger, but I'm not sure if maybe she was competitive in the younger days. These days, not at all. Like. She's just there for a good time. And she's also the one with my cricket, probably a little bit more the chilled one, where she's like, oh, you know what, it happens. It's okay. More very chilled, because she doesn't really understand the game that much, like the basics of cricket, but she doesn't really understand when something good happens, how good it is, for example. But she was really chuffed. I mean, her and my dad both. All the messages we've received, not just me personally, but I know heaps of our teammates, all the messages we've received from fans and families and even people from CSA has been incredible. And I think, the last couple of months for us as a women's team has absolutely been incredible. I think we've achieved so many good things, and I really hope that this year with the T20 World Cup is our time.
It's just around the corner if you think about it. But like, I just want to come back to your family a bit when it comes to conversations about cricket then. Like, is it different with your dad? Are there times where you don't want to talk cricket or your international performance with him because he's competitive by nature, or your brother? Like, what's it like when you have to talk about your own performance or like the feedback that you get from family?
When I'm on tour, my dad video calls me every single day. So even if I've played or not, but I mean, it's always nicer to phone home when you've done well, when you've won the game. But yeah, my dad's very supportive. Like, I think he understands cricket a little bit more than my mother. So he understands that the way the game goes, sometimes it doesn't always work the way that we want it to. But he's very supportive. He used to always give me advice. These days, he just tries to be nice and chilled. Because I think...
What was some of the advice?
Sometimes when I get out, he would tell me, like, I don't know why you play that shot. Why didn't you do that? And I think, obviously, as cricketers, we sometimes get annoyed with that, because sometimes we know we stuffed it up and it's not ideal, but you don't always want to hear it again. So, but I think he's learned from that as well. Like, I think my dad realized that sometimes, you know, as a player, when we've had a bad game, we don't want to hear what we did wrong and what's so not. So I think he's gotten better. He's actually now just, you know what, it's not the end of the world. It happened. So he's changed.
Oh man, dad's losing his competitive edge.
He's changed. He's changed heaps. Maybe it's because he's getting older, but but I think, again, even in my younger days, like so many different tips or just advice on just life in general, I guess, about not taking cricket too seriously. I think at times all you think about is cricket, that you actually just forget about normal life. So, like I said, he's changed heaps. And my brother's played a bit of cricket as well. So he would always just tell me, you know what, don't worry too much about this or that. Just keep batting the way you're batting. And so, they're all really supportive. And it's lovely to have them on my side. And like I said, even through the bad days, they're always very supportive.
And it's high up in the air.
ये तो आउट है. Tissues. ये तो 6 है. Party. Out, 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 out. 666.
What a smashing victory!
Big Basket. Everything you need delivered now.
What's your routine when you have a day off at home now?
Not much, to be honest. Like
That
we
sounds
have this
like a pretty good day.
Yeah,
actually,
it's like
yeah.
I said to my sister as well, like I actually enjoy doing nothing or just being at home because we don't get to do that often. So we have like this little patio set outside. So I just like to sit there, put music on, drink some coffee and just chat to my family members. So, and I can do that for hours. Like sometimes I have to tell my family members, okay, come on, we need to get dressed, we need to clean the house, we need to get going now. We will sit there for 3-4 hours and just chat and drink coffee. So I like to just really chill at home, watch a movie, drink some coffee, sit outside or play with the dogs or maybe go to the beach or stuff like that. Like I said, yeah, it's probably normal life for my parents and my brother and them. But yeah, for me, it kind of feels like a bit different because my normal life is more in a hotel room and on flights 24/7, really.
It's a good way to recenter yourself. But I don't know if you realize that after the World Cup and your performance, and, you know, of course, you were one of the players that we all remember, even if it's just for that one innings, you know, you're a player that we remember. So when RCB reacquired, in a way, your services during that WPL auction, everyone I don't know if you know the reaction to that, because everyone's like, this is amazing. She's going to add to the setup. That was an absolute steal. This is one of the smartest buys. You know, how did other teams, like, they're so lucky, RCB. But, like, people were just exploding with their reactions to a player like you coming back to that setup. Were you aware of any of that?
No, not really, to be honest. I was quite worried about the auction, but I remember I was obviously at the WBBL and yeah, we played an away game and I was like, initially, do I need to watch it or do I not? Always a bit stressed out with these things because you don't know how it's going to work out. But I didn't know about the reactions or anything, but I was really stoked when I saw that I got picked by RCB and yeah, pretty exciting to be back where I played my first WPL basically. So pretty nice to be back in red.
What were you most looking forward to when you saw who's on the team list, the conversations with certain players, reconnecting with different people?
Like we spoke earlier, like probably Richa, like I said, I think it's one of...
Man,
she's one of the...
you, if you're batting together, that's going to be like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's one of the best hitters in the women's game that I've seen. And I'm like, especially the ability to walk in and just go hard from ball one. We know that's the hardest thing in cricket is to walk in and just smoke the ball, and she does that pretty well. So, and obviously she's done really well for RCB as well. So I think just that combination towards that back end, I think it can be really exciting for RCB, and then obviously having Smriti up top and as our captain as well. I spoke a lot about calmness, and I think she's probably the pinnacle of that is like just being really calm as our leader, and she's had an exceptional year as well. So yeah, really exciting to be back playing among some of the best players in the world.
So two players that you mentioned are, different types of players, yet have developed an incredible power game. It's only now in the last couple of years with, of course, women's cricket being broadcast, that people have these conversations about how powerful the women's game is, your six hitting ability, and how, you're one of those players you talk about when you look at how you can really hit the ball a long way and just have that overall physical capacity, that athletic ability. It's maybe new to the audience because they're now seeing it. It may not be something that's new to you, but do you feel like the conversations around women's sport and women's cricket now have changed towards that?
Definitely. I actually saw a stat the other day on, I don't know if it was ESPN, and where they showed the ODI totals in 2022 till 2024 compared to this year, or 2025. And it was actually a massive difference. The amount of 300 plus scores,
like
the amount of...
over 300 plus scores.
The amount of sixes that's been hit is like almost triple the amount that it used to be. So it just shows that women's cricket is really growing. And I guess a lot comes down to the professionalism and like I said, just the way the game grows. So people probably train a bit different. There's good coaches going around kind of teaching us, because we're not as powerful as the men, obviously. So six hitting for them is such a natural thing. Where with the ladies' game, it's not necessarily the same. It probably is a bit harder to kind of be that powerful. It's not something that just comes naturally. So I think a lot has changed in terms of training and the way we go about the women's game. And like I said, it's so exciting to see, because these days, if you get 300, that's actually just par. Where back in the day, if you scored a 250, you're probably winning 9 out of 10 games. And the same with the WPL. I mean, the scores in the last couple of seasons has all been going up. So yeah, I think women's cricket is really on the rise, and it's exciting to be a part of it. And I don't think it's as boring as it used to be like 10 years ago, where people would just get 180 and still win the game. I think these days it's really
fair,
competitive.
180 games can still be a lot of fun.
It can.
It can be very competitive.
Sometimes it happens. Actually, you're actually under more pressure to chase 180 compared to than a 300. But I think
calculated risks.
Throughout this World Cup, I mean, the ODI games that I've been a part of in the last year, whether it was the tri-series against England, I mean, India and Sri Lanka, I think there was like 4 300-plus scores. 2 of them got chased. So, yeah, the women's game is really moving, and I think it's going to get better as time goes on. I think it's going to become such a big part of the universe, really, or of global cricket. I think it's just going to keep growing.
It has to be, because prior to this Women's World Cup, a lot of the conversations or interactions that I had with, women cricketers was like, 2017 World Cup final, how did that change your life? And a lot of people used to use that as the parameter. But 2025, that final, it equaled the men's final in terms of viewership. I'm not sure if you know that or not, but as an Indian broadcaster, it equaled that. The amount of people that showed up at the stadiums, the amount of people that tuned in to watch that final. So that's incredible to have that sort of viewership, because we, as well as broadcasters, were like, okay, wow, this shows the change in narrative. And a lot of that is thanks to, WPL and the leagues like this. So are you now comfortable with the focus that is on you? Because now everyone knows your business, they follow you on Instagram, they know what's happening in your life, they probably know the kind of earrings you like to wear. People notice that now, and it's not something that maybe you had, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's a coin kind of has 2 sides. Like, for me personally, I'm a little bit more on the private side. I like to keep things to myself, and so I think sometimes that does get a little bit too much. Like, especially when we play in India, where you could not go anywhere without thousands of people being there for pictures or whatever. And I guess that's.
After
but it's
that
also,
knock, did everyone know your name?
Yeah, and it was people in the crowd were shouting your name, and it's special as well, because like I said, we've never had that before. But I guess even in South Africa, we went on a little holiday or whatever, and the amount of people that actually notice South African women's cricketers back home now, compared to even 2 years ago, it was never the case. So many people that wanted to take pictures or whatever, like, they just went crazy for some of the South African cricketers, which is really cool to see as well. And it's great to see the growth of women's cricket. So I guess it comes with a bit of both, because sometimes you just want a bit of privacy and you want to stay out of the limelight, but also in the same sentence, like, it's so cool. It's so cool that people actually follow you from right across the globe, really. And yeah, like I said, the women's game is just going to keep rising, really. And with the likes of the WPL and WBBL and the 100, everything's getting better and bigger. So
you got no time for yourself.
Yeah, it's like there's no time to keep it private, really, because you're always going to be on the screens, and you're always going to travel around and play cricket, I guess. So, but it's really cool. I think it's insane to see how women's cricket has grown. You've just mentioned 2017 World Cup compared to 2025. Like, you can't even compare the two. Like, it feels like it's just completely different.
Tremendous growth then, to be able to experience that, like, as a broadcaster, it was amazing. But like, has it, like, you travel the world now, like, has your routine changed? Are you better at packing? Were you always organized? Like, is there something that it goes with you all over the globe? What's your routine when it comes to being a traveler?
Oh, you know what? I still hate packing. I normally start like a week before, because I pack in like little batches. So I hate packing. Like, it is one of the worst things going on tour for me. I hate packing, but I've not gotten better at it at all. I always travel with 3 bags, and I still haven't learned. I don't use half of the things in my bag. So I'm actually a very bad packer. I need to sort my life out in 2026. I need to be better, because sometimes I need 2 trolleys because I have so many bags and I don't use the things. So I don't know why I pack it, but probably just my speaker. Like, I'm a massive music lover, so I always have my speaker on in my room, and I always
listen. What are you listening to now?
So at the moment, it's like this, like, it's more genre, but like this indie mix that I have on my phone, which is like just nice and chilled, really. I don't want to listen to all this heavy metal stuff when I wake up in the morning. So I will wake up and put my speaker on and listen to some music. You do spend a lot of time, obviously, in your room or away from the game as well. So I like to be really, really chilled. So my speaker is probably the first thing that I pack, and my charger is very important as well. So.
Well, charger you can get everywhere, a good speaker.
Yeah, it's like, I actually have 4 of the same speakers at home, because I do sometimes forget to pack my speaker, but then I have to buy one at Dubai airport. So they've made a lot of money out of me because I've had to buy the same speaker.
Hey, now we know what to get you as a birthday gift. Sorted that out for us.
So yeah, my memory is also not great. So I always forget something on tour. Like I've never gone a single tour without forgetting something. So I've actually written down my stuff on a little notepad this time, and I've ticked it to make sure that I bring everything. But I still forgot 3 or 4 things. So
that's okay. The RCB will organize it for you. Don't worry, you're sorted. But isn't it amazing how, of course, across sporting teams, music is the one unifier, because it's the one thing that with all athletes, that seems to be the answer, that music, I got to have my speaker, because no one wants to be in a silent hotel room, right? But from what I hear, your hotel room is never silent. I believe we can hear you across the hall. Is that right?
I've had many complaints in my career this far, because it's either the people always joke around with me like, can you just stop talking? Or it's like me and one of my teammates, Lismi remarks, we're very loud when we're together because we always laugh and it's so loud. So people always like, please just keep it quiet. You are making so much noise, and we all love to sleep late. So we like to make noise in our rooms until late at night. But if it's not us babbling throughout the night, then it's the speaker on full volume. So people always know when I'm in my room or when I'm around.
Are you going to tussle to be the team DJ this season?
Oh,
do we have
probably
one
not.
already?
It was actually the other day, I was quite impressed with the tunes. There was a team speaker and the music was pumping, but it was actually like a little bit of everything. So whoever the DJ was doing quite a good job.
Okay, so we've got your stamp of approval for this season. Okay, great. We should be fine. One of the other things that I heard was that you were not the best with spicy Indian food. Is your tolerance better now? You've spent so much time here. It used to be just butter chicken and naan. Like, have you moved on from that?
That's my favorite. I'll even eat it at home sometimes when I'm at home. And we actually came from India, and I had like 2 weeks at home before I came over here. And we ordered butter chicken the one time, and I was like, you would think that I've had enough of it because I spent 8 weeks in India. But butter chicken is my favorite. Here it's probably a bit more spicy than back home. Back home it's more like sweet, which I enjoy a little more. But yeah, I'm terrible with spicy food. I've tried it heaps of times, doesn't work. But luckily, like so far, we've had like just normal food like grilled chicken and rice or mashed potato, whatever.
Oh, the healthy stuff.
Yeah, the nice things. Like that is things that I eat a lot at home. So that's been much better for my stomach, and hopefully they keep up their good work.
Oh, fair enough.
And it's high up in the air.
ये तो आउट है टिश्यूज ये तो 6 है पार्टी आउट 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 666
What a smashing victory.
Big Basket. Everything you need delivered now.
But speaking of the healthy stuff, obviously we were just talking about, the game, the powers game. You were quite athletic growing up, played a lot of different sports, so that's been a natural part of your life. But what has changed as you've become, grown into your professionalism as an athlete in terms of your own routine, maintaining the fitness, maintaining impact levels, because you play that much more cricket now, and that too across the globe?
Yeah, I think it really helps playing sports in general from a very young age. So I think you kind of just used to training all the time, really. Even though that time it was probably just for fun, and obviously didn't think about making.
Did you play?
I did everything actually, but mainly hockey and javelin was my main sport. So I went to my high school just for javelin. So the focus was more because I got a bursary for javelin. So my focus was very much just on that. But primary school I even played a bit of rugby with my brother and them for my primary school back in the day. But netball and hockey. Did cross country, long distance, a little bit of everything. But I think obviously the older you get, the more you kind of need to decide. You couldn't play hockey and netball in high school. You kind of need to you needed to choose one. So I went with hockey and javelin. But yeah, kind of when I started playing for South Africa, just
it seems like you had no time for cricket. So how did cricket come about then?
I don't actually know how it. I guess it was just like cricket was on Mondays, like Mondays and Wednesdays, and the rest of. So I did. Like javelin training was early in the morning before school. So I used to train at like 6:30 in the morning before school. I did javelin, and then our cricket training used to start 5 till 7.
But was this like your choice, or did your parents say like go and play, or is this normal for everyone growing back up?
No, that was just what I wanted to do. We used to play lots of cricket, me and my brother. Javelin was something that I really enjoyed, and then obviously was privileged enough to get a bursary to go to. I came from a really small town in the middle of nowhere where we were like 400 kids or whatever, like very small. So the opportunity to go to like a big high school that was obviously also highly competitive and really good standards, and to try and make something out of sport. And well, weird that I ended up with cricket, but played cricket throughout. Cricket was never really something that I thought about as like a job, or so it was almost like it was just a good time with my friends.
Yeah, that's what. You're spending time with your friends.
So it was more like I've known those people. Like we all started playing together when we were 10, 11, and it was all the same group, just moved up the older we got basically, and we were just all really good friends. So it was almost like just to blow off steam a little, like after school, and you're stressed about exams, and like even with javelin, because you needed to follow a lot of rules because you're on a bursary, and they kind of tell you like you need to train at 6:30 in the morning, you need to do this, you need to do that. Where with cricket, it was just fun, and it was with all of my mates that I've known for a really long time. So, and I think that also helped me excel as well, because I just enjoyed it so much that I always wanted to be at training, always wanted to train longer, because I just really enjoyed it. And I had a really good season in 2017 and was really surprised with the call-up as well at that time. But I guess it's just right time, right place.
Yeah. But I mean, from your group of friends, were you the only ones from your town back home who made it like this far playing professionally for your country?
Well, no, not really. There's actually a few of them. Like Elisma Remarks, probably she's in and out of the team a little, but we started playing together when we were like 10 or 11. Wow. So I've known her for a very, very long time, and she's one of my best mates. So it's so nice to see that how much we've both like grown. And I mean the same with Laura. I mean we've all played under 19 cricket together, under 16 cricket back in the day, together all against each other, and about Annerie Dirksen as well. So we're all kind of in the same age group. So we've played with and against each other for the last 10 years, really. And it's great to see that everybody's grown differently in their own way, but we've all kind of got to the same destination, I guess. And everybody's on a different journey, but it's great to still play alongside those girls that I've been playing with and against for the last 10 years. Someone had to take me back 10 years, I probably would have said, like, this is never going to happen. So it's quite cool that, like I said, that we all play for South Africa together, and that we can look back on our younger days when we came up against each other and we tried to get each other out, and we were all just laughing and making jokes as little girls. So
you're still laughing and you're still making jokes.
Oh, it's all the time. But I guess, like I said, it's really special as well. Like that's the things we dream of as little girls. Like we all want to get to the top, and sometimes not all of your friends make it, unfortunately. But like I said, we're lucky enough that there's a few of us that's played together for a while, that's kind of had that dream of playing for South Africa 1 or 2 times.
Your family obviously likes sport, but were there any sort of pushback on girls playing sports growing up where you did? What was it looked at upon when you decided to make it a career choice?
No, not really. My parents, and especially my dad, he was actually the one that got me into cricket to start off with. My mom was probably a little bit more like, is it actually something that girls do? But my dad actually came up with the idea of just going for trials and just seeing how it works out, because he always felt like I could make it. And he said one day, you know what, there's trials on, it was a Wednesday, I think, at Supersport Park. Why don't you just go? And me and my cousin actually went together, and we both made the team. And my dad was like, beforehand, if you don't make it, it's fine. Like, just try, see if you like it. And me and my cousin both made the team, and we had so much fun, actually, because we played like 2 years. We played together for Northerns back in the day. So we made it like a family thing, really. And my dad and them always packed the cars, and they all went wherever we went, because it was obviously his brother. So they would have a drink next to the field, and me and my cousin would play cricket, and they absolutely loved it. And my dad's just been really supportive of it ever since. He loves women's cricket, not just when I'm playing, but just in general. He absolutely loves women's cricket. He would watch any sort of women's cricket that comes onto TV, even if I'm not in it. So it's great to see that it's even affected my family, the way that the women's game has grown over the last couple of years.
Well, you must have brought, he's come to stadiums to watch you play. Has he watched you in World Cups in stadiums? Has he watched you in the WPL?
Yeah, he has actually. They were here when I played my first year here for RCB. My whole family actually came over, which was quite cool. And then we tried to get them to the World Cup final, but unfortunately we couldn't get the visas in time. But whenever we play in Cape...
You've got to get him now, though, for this season of WPL?
No, he's unfortunately working, so they won't be coming over. But possibly a few other family members. But my dad whenever he gets an opportunity to come and watch me play, he really loves it. I know he really enjoyed his time. We were in Delhi, I think, that year. They came for that leg of the tournament, and they absolutely loved it. They still talk about the tuk-tuks and how they managed to get one driver to drive them around the whole 2 weeks. And yeah, if he can't come and watch, he's definitely, he will even stop his work to watch me play. So that's really special.
What is this from what you're going to enter another season now with RCB into the WPL? What a lot of things have changed. You know, it's always bigger, better, grander. But you know what this franchise means and the love that it has, again, for both teams. What does it mean for you to play for this franchise from what you've learned, and what are your expectations that way?
And I guess this is probably what a lot of people say, but I think
Jacques Kallis did play for RCB as well.
He did.
Oh,
good. I think probably the fans, I think it just stands out, doesn't it? Like, I don't think I've ever seen such a big fan base than RCB. I mean, the amount of messages on Instagram I have, like, I couldn't even read them all, because so many fans, even before the auction, after the auction, or after the World Cup, just so many people being really like supportive and really excited about this as well. So I think the fans really stand out, and just the way RCB does everything, really, it's just so supportive and just makes you feel welcome. And I guess that's going to bring the best out of you as well. If you feel you're at home and you feel like it's your second family, I think it's just going to bring the best out of your cricket on the field as well.
And also, you know, you're in a position now where you do become like that sort of role model for younger generations. And I'm not just talking about young girls, but a lot of young boys, because the amount of men that were invested in this Women's World Cup and the young boys that came to stadiums, that's something that WPL has managed to do. That's something that RCB has managed to do. So what does it feel like, in a sense, playing to a different audience than maybe when you started playing cricket?
Yeah, I think it's really special, because I've heard a lot of beautiful stories about girls that actually started taking cricket up because of, whether not necessarily me, but women's cricketers in general.
And you could say you, though. There must be some stories.
Yeah,
of people from
and
home.
it's really special. Like, I think even when I was growing up, I didn't really know women's cricket at all. Like, I only started knowing about it when I was probably in high school and started playing with Mignon, and Tunei was playing at that time. So I think just the example that you can set for other kids it's a really privileged position to be in, to be able to set that example for someone else. I mean, why would you not want to be that person that can inspire the next young girl to take up cricket and become the next superstar? So yeah, I guess it's really special. Sometimes I guess it just comes with everything you do. Like, you obviously work so hard, and I think if even if you just get 10 girls to follow in your footsteps, then I think you'll be happy, because that is what it's all about as well. At the end of the day, it's about inspiring the next generation and leaving a legacy, really. So yeah, would be really happy if you can even just take 10 girls along the journey.
The shift in narrative now for women's sport and women cricket, is there anyone that's come over from the dark side? And have you had any of those sort of interactions where you might have faced criticism, or that sort of someone dismissing you early in your career who's now been transformed?
Actually, I haven't. I'm probably just going to say that only, like, my brother, he never used to like women's cricket. He used to tell me all the time, it is so boring, he can't watch it. If I'm not playing, he's not watching it. And he's changed a fair bit, especially at this World Cup and after that. He's a massive RCB fan as well. He's always supported RCB because AB de Villiers has played here for all the years, and he loves AB de Villiers and Virat Kohli. So he was so excited when I got picked by RCB, because he was like, thank goodness now he can support RCB again. Last year he had to support Mumbai, but he didn't want to go against me, but he also...
But actually RCB have had that a lot of like love for South African players.
Yeah.
So you're walking into that in a sense.
Yeah, so that's quite cool. So he's very happy that I'm back here, but he's actually started watching women's cricket a lot more. So I'm glad that the way women's cricket is going got him to change his mind, because I got tired of him telling me, oh, it's so boring, they can't hit sixes and they're just taking one.
So you took it upon yourself to prove him wrong.
I was like, just watch Richa bat and then you'll tell a different story. So yeah, at least we got another one on board with women's cricket, so that's great.
Just to add on to that, I have to know the conversation you had with your brother after that innings in the World Cup for you against India.
Oh, he was stoked. I mean, he's probably not the... Like, when it comes to your parents, like as children normally, like, you're always like, yeah, I know. But I think with my brother, we're only 2 years apart. So he's very straightforward in the way he tells me things and whatever. So he doesn't really go around the bush. He would just tell me straight up. And I think he's been a massive part of my career and the way I've played my game. So after that game, he actually whatever message he sent me was all in capital letters, because he was like, he actually has tears in his eyes and he just wanted to cry. And he video called me like at 1 a.m. and he was just like, I cannot believe what has just happened. And he was super stoked. But I think, like I said, he's been part of probably the lowest of lows as well. And I think he's just been so supportive of me and wanting me, obviously, to reach my potential. Because he always told me when I was younger, you are so much better than what you're showing at the moment. Like, he would tell me straight up, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you batting like this? And he would tell me straight up, I'm so frustrated with your batting. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you batting like this? Why are you not? And I think like the last couple of months, he's just been like, you know what, I've told you for many years, this is you. I don't know what you've been doing over the last 5 years, but this is you and this is what you've been supposed to do for the last 5 years. So yeah, he's a really special kid to me, and I know he's going to be part of heaps of cricket going forward.
Yeah, so just to end on that, so WPL, of course, and then the T20 World Cup. So if your brother thinks that you are playing prime right now, is the best yet to come?
I hope
What
so.
is your mindset like with the way that your game is at this moment?
Yeah, I really hope so. But I think this is probably the best I've felt in my international career. And like I said, it took me 9 years, which is a very long time. But I guess, like I said, we're all getting older, we're getting more mature. I've played lots of cricket over the last 9 years, but probably more over the last 4 years. Carried a lot of drinks in the beginning and maybe wasn't sure how I wanted to go about it. But I think ever since I started playing a bit more, I think you just learn your game, you understand what you want to do, how you want to go about your game. And then I think the more you do it, the better you become at it. So yeah, I'm really excited to, like I said again, to be a part of women's cricket, but also on my own journey. I know everybody's timings is different, and it just feels like things are starting to come together little by little, and I really hope that the best is yet to come. But I do also believe it is. Just have to keep ticking the boxes as you go along.
So, I mean, in all our conversations, it's really exciting to feed off your energy, because you are radiating that confidence. You're secure at the moment with the way that your cricket is going. But overall, and you look back at your decade-long journey in a sense, and we'll take it even further from childhood. How do you feel like cricket has changed your life?
Yeah, it's actually difficult to put it in words. I think cricket teaches you so much about life. I think it's so much more than just a game we play. I think it has just made me like a better human, and I think mentally so much stronger as well, apart from the life you've created back home, whether it is to provide for family or sort your life out. But I think just the lessons you learn from this game is probably lessons that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. It just shows you that even though you failed today, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And I guess that it just teaches you a lot of resilience and fight, and that, like I said, that never die spirit. That's probably my motto as well, just in general life. Even if you get knocked down, just get back up and keep going, because that's what cricket teaches us. But yeah, lovely game to be a part of and tough lessons. But yeah, like I said, it just makes you such a strong human being, I think, at the end of the day.
Oh, that's beautifully said, and we're waiting for the best, because we're really excited to see the phase that you're in. So thank you so much for being on this episode. So a little thank you from our digital partner, Big Basket. And you want to take a peep inside? The first thing I see is spicy, so I'm not sure that'll suit you, but the rest should be good. Yeah, see, sizzling.
Oh, you see, they knew music.
They knew music.
They knew it's a thing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Oh no, but it's
okay. The rest looks alright.
Yeah. It's an amazing
nice.
hamper, and since you're just starting tour, this is like the perfect company, and enjoy. Thank you so much for being with us.
My stomach full. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Big Basket presents the RCB Podcast.